Oliver Simpson.
Robert Lamb.
When I say this,
You say ho.
welcome to my house, baby. Take control now. We can't even slow down. Who am I?
I don't know.
The wonderful state of Flo Rida.
Flo Rida. I forgot he existed.
I couldn't think of a song. I guess I could have said "Who Dat Girl,"
True.
but that was only one lyric that I knew.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Because today is Flo Rida Day.
And this
But not Flo Rida.
is Will There Be Cake.
But it's Will There Be Cake. I'm Robert. That's Amber.
And it's Florida Day.
Yeah, not Flo Rida.
Florida, man.
Florida man does what?
Everything you can
He
think
is
of.
Crazy. Florida man is crazy.
Florida man is not actually a man.
No, it's a collection of men.
A collection of men.
and women. And some women.
Or just in the news so much. Florida man is in the news so much.
It's just always crazy people. Like
Yeah.
biting people's faces or like wrestling alligators or stealing speedboats or drug
Related.
submarines, just all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Those are all real stories that I said right there.
Are they?
Yeah.
I believe it. I forget which. There's a local radio station that does Florida man or not Florida man, and they tell a story, and then that was in the news.
Oh, and you have to guess.
And you have to guess.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happens here, but there's a lot of people in Florida.
There's so many people in Florida.
There's
Get
a lot
the
of
fuck
people.
out, and they keep moving
Is
here.
it the third highest state? Probably, I would think New York and California are the top two.
Yeah.
I would think
it's-
Florida might be third. I'm going to look up populations by state.
Okay, you do that. Well,
Maybe Texas, but keep going.
I guess we'll start this Florida Day by talking about some of the boring history
Well,
stuff.
really quick, we should mention that we're in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
We're from Florida.
We're here.
We live in St. Pete, which is
We
right
live in-
near Tampa.
It's the good part of Florida.
Yeah, it actually is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's when people move here, they like to move here in St. Pete.
Right.
But today, it's probably I think people are getting a shit ton of snow, and it's 75 degrees here right now in the afternoon. And tonight it'll go down to 66. So it's good weather
Yeah.
here right now. This is what we like. Because there's a nice breeze outside.
By the way, I was wrong. So New York is actually it. So
New York is second.
who do you think is first? State.
California?
Yeah, California's
They're huge.
first.
They're bigger than us. aren't they?
Second, yeah, it's one of the biggest states. Second, though, is Texas.
Oh, that makes sense. They're big
Third
too.
is Florida.
Third's
And
Florida.
fourth is New York.
Oh, wow.
I thought New York would be higher. I guess
It's kind of small.
New York City is big, but maybe the other parts of New York aren't as populated,
Yeah, no.
densely populated. But
No.
neither is Florida. Central Florida is not, besides Orlando and stuff.
That's true.
There's a lot of farmland.
I feel like
and
we have a
stuff.
lot more, because all their city is just right there.
Yeah, it's all in,
But we
there.
have, Miami at the tip. We have us in St. Pete, Tampa. And we have Orlando. And then in the Panhandle, there's
Jacksonville.
Tallahassee, Jacksonville. area.
Jacksonville's pretty big.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
All
All
right,
right.
so what else about
We
Florida?
are the 27th state to join the United States. And we are home of the oldest established city in the country.
St. Augustine?
Yeah. With over 400 years of history. It's St. Augustine.
That's weird that people were living down here,
I know.
before it was a state. No.
It was
I mean,
founded
a lot
by
of people.
Spanish explorers in 1565.
But it was so hot back then. They didn't have air
I
conditioning.
know,
How,
they didn't.
how did they live?
I have no idea.
People are going to be like, these white, prissy jerks.
Have you been to St. Augustine?
Yeah, several times. But most recently was probably 4 years ago.
Isn't that where you can go and do the
You can see the
fish
forts.
boats? Oh, yeah.
Well, they have a lot of forts there. We have a fort over here, though, Fort
Yeah,
DeSoto.
Fort DeSoto.
But, yeah, there's the old-timey forts, a lot of, haunted areas and stuff
right.
that you can go visit.
Don't they do what is it?
Uh,
Like the boats where you can get the,
not
it's
airboats.
fish, the sponge fish things. Can't you go sponging in St. Augustine? That side?
I think you can go sponging anywhere, can't you? Tarpon Springs has the sponge docks and stuff.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of, Tarpon Springs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, things you can do in Florida. I heard that's some.
Florida's got a lot of stuff.
So East and West Florida became the 14th and 15th British colonies after the end of the French and Indian War in 1763. But then in 1783, at the end of the American Revolutionary War, the Treaty of Paris returned Florida to Spain. And then the present-day borders of Florida were absorbed through two transactions. Louisiana Purchase in 1803 brought East Florida with it, and the U.S. And through a U.S. intervention in an uprising in West Florida in 1812 that caused West Florida to join the Mississippi Territory. Mm. Florida joined the Union on March 3rd, 1845.
Nice.
History of Florida. But it's like an average temperature of like 79.5 degrees Fahrenheit here.
I thought it'd be higher.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
I feel like it feels hotter than that because it's muggy. It's always gross.
A lot of humidity.
Yeah, always
in Florida
because
it's all swampland.
But it was a Floridian who brought refrigeration and air conditioning into the world in 1851. Yep, John Gorey. He's like, can't have this anymore. We need some
too hot.
Cold.
When hurricane came through and a lot of people lost power, I didn't lose power here.
Yeah,
so that was pretty cool. But a lot of people lost power for some people lost it for like a week until they could repair all the lines. And I think my dad, who lives in Tampa, he lost power for like a week, and he said they were having to take cold showers, and it was just hot. They had to open all the windows and stuff because it was just hot and muggy and stuff.
Gross. I would go pay to be somewhere else.
I mean, go inside somewhere. I think a lot of people were. They were going other places. That
the floor. I remember
movie theaters and stuff too.
Yeah. I was working downtown still at the movie theater, and we reopened before a lot of places did. We didn't have AC the first day, but then they came. It wasn't the power; it's just the AC broke. They came out and fixed it, and then there's a shit ton of people there the next couple of days because nobody had AC.
Yeah.
So then the invention of sunblock was created here too.
Of course.
Makes sense. It's pretty sunny here. You could get skin cancer pretty easy.
Yep. I walk outside and I know I have it.
Hungary-born pharmacist Benjamin Green invented it in 1944, which it later became a tanning solution known as Coppertone.
Coppertone. That seems kind of late, actually. I guess
1944.
I heard recreational swimming wasn't really popularized until the 1916.
Yeah, people probably just tried not to go outside unless they were working out there.
Well, back then everybody wanted pale skin.
Yeah,
now everybody wants darker skin.
And you could just wear long sleeves.
That's why they used to powder their nose and stuff. I need to be whiter.
To be whiter. Not white enough.
Not white enough.
So then Cape Canaveral, in the home of the Kennedy Space Center in Brevard County.
That was my
came along with its first launch in 1950.
Nice.
Which is really cool. You've been to Kennedy Space Center, right? It's
as a kid though.
Yeah, it's remember a field trip when you're a kid. I'm pretty sure.
I went a lot of places as a child.
I really want to go and watch them do a
launch.
Yeah. Even if it's
Didn't they just do one recently?
Yeah, they do them they do them pretty often recently.
One of our listeners who enjoys Paralyzed, but a lot of the audio dramas and stuff, he lives in Clearwater. Oh, wow. We didn't know that, and then he just messaged us. He found out we were from Florida. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were so close to where I live." He's like, "Yeah, I love all your shows." And I'm like, "Thanks." So I was talking to him a little bit, and he has a YouTube channel where he watches a lot of the launches and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And because he's super into space, and he was telling me all about that stuff. I'm like, I don't know enough about that stuff. I watched the Challenger thing. I don't know if he went to the last one, but he watched live the one from Dallas
right.
Or in Texas. They launched something they're trying to. I think they're trying to get shuttle. I mean, they're working on actual transportation across
of just products right now, right?
Yeah, but he said he thinks that in our time, our lifetime, that eventually we'll be able to get to Japan in 6 hours or something like that.
Hot damn!
Wowzers!
Yeah, but you can even from where we are in St. Pete, you can see them. Sometimes when they take off, you look.
Florida's pretty flat.
It's pretty flat.
Pretty flat.
See things.
Yeah, you can see things for so long.
But yeah, so there's been Apollo missions, Hubble telescopes, Mars rovers, and they're still doing stuff.
Yeah,
including the SpaceX launches.
Yep.
Florida got a lot of beaches.
Fort Desoto, where we live next to, that was rated #1 beach a while back.
That's kind of weird.
I don't think it was the best.
I used to hate Fort DeSoto, but it's kind of cool now that like those couple hurricanes came through and completely like
just
fucked shit up,
destroyed everything.
Yeah, but like but it's cool. That's what's cool about Fort DeSoto is because it's like water and then sand. Like you can get far out because there's like water, sand.
Yeah, there's like a lot of sandbars over there.
Yeah.
We used to find like the sand dollars and stuff. But I think I like Fort DeSoto just because of like how natural they try to keep it for the most part. Like the campground is kind of hokey. Like it's, a regular campground. But the rest of it, there's some nature trails. Like you said, there's a lot of like sandbars and people go out there. And then there's like pretty big, like wide open like fields and stuff like that. And
it's pretty nice.
The actual fort and stuff to visit.
Yep.
So I like that. But I think Clearwater Beach is probably better beaches. I think.
Yeah, I think that's what's most
nicer.
Advertised. Like when I went to New York City, they are like Clearwater, come visit Clearwater. It's like they kind of wrap in Clearwater.
Well, Clearwater's
Tampa.
starting to build up too.
But
like as a city.
It is, yeah. I hope they get the sign.
Well, it used to be Tampa. Everybody would want, I know. But they keep it clean.
Yeah, but there's some places that are so creepy because it's like,
it's
like all Scientologist owned buildings, and it's like creepy. Like no one goes there unless there's.
That's why I've heard it's so clean and stuff. Is like they try to.
Nobody goes there.
It's just it's weird. But I went down because now they're starting to build up a lot of like they do have some like breweries and bars over there now.
Yeah.
So like I went there with some friends. And I was surprised how much stuff is there now.
Yeah.
And Tampa used to be the hot spot, and then they started building up St. Pete. Now St. Pete's pretty big, and now they're building up like they've been doing Clearwater and Tarpon and all those areas. Like all of them are getting pretty big with breweries and like bars and things to do and like retro arcades and like that one in Tarpon. So this whole area, because we're on the west coast of Florida. Mm-hmm. On the Gulf Coast, which I like. I don't really like the Gulf Coast in general as like a beach anyways, just because I like waves, and the Gulf is usually pretty flat.
I agree.
But the East Coast is like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
That's not that far, I guess.
It's been a long time since I've been to the East Coast.
Yeah, St. Augustine was the last time.
Yeah, that's what you do on the East Coast. So I found this article by Tip Savvy, on like things you should do when you're visiting Florida. So if you're going to visit Florida today, on Florida Day,
it's the perfect time to do it. We love tourism here.
Central Florida has
Orlando.
It has the Legoland, Dinosaur World, Universal, Disney.
That's why I've always liked Florida. Like, I feel like Florida has a lot to offer.
It does have a lot
California
to offer.
does too.
There's a shit ton of stuff to do here. You might have to drive a little while. It is like, you don't really think about, I mean, us living here, we know, but someone who isn't from here doesn't think about how big Florida is. And it's funny because Adam's little brother was staying with us for a little while, and he met a girl the last time he was here. It's an environmentalist, and she got a job like up in the Panhandle, I think Panama City. That's up there. Panama City, yeah, way up in the Panhandle. And she moved like the day after he came down this last time, and he was like, I really like her, like I should just go visit her. Do you think like there's like airports around there? So he looked up like how long it would take to drive there, and he's like, holy shit. He's like, I did not realize how big Florida is. I'm like, yeah, dude. Florida's it's a far drive.
It's really long too, especially like if you just go to the Keys. The Keys themselves are like over 100 miles.
Yeah.
So it's like you just go on all those bridges. I mean, that's far.
I've only been to the Keys once when I was a kid. You walked there.
I walked there. I walked through.
We got SeaWorld.
I walked through the Everglades.
People hate
yeah. I haven't been to SeaWorld in a long time. I do like all the theme parks, though. I've always been like big on the theme parks, and there's a ton. And they're building a new Universal Land World place with Nintendo Worlds coming there, so that'd be cool.
I'm so excited about that.
And then, Orlando's got a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But the traffic there is a pain.
Yeah, because it's seriously the tourist trap.
Oh, God. So the traffic.
Insane. But if you want to avoid Orlando, you could come here to Tampa. We got Busch Gardens.
It's a theme park. Adventure Island.
It's not too bad. We got the Florida Aquarium, which is pretty cool. Lowry Park Zoo. Yeah. It's pretty cool. We got Ybor City. It's a historic place, but I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like Ybor.
Yeah, Tarpon Springs, the sponge capital of the world.
That's right, Tarpon Springs.
And then we have, of course, the famous Skyway.
Tarpon Springs has the replay amusement where you can pay $15 or whatever and go play arcade games. Because I went and did that, and then they give you a band and you can come back for the day. So I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we like went, played for like an hour or two, then went down to the docks to like walk around like where the sponges and stuff.
It's been a really long time since I've been.
Yeah, it was a long time since I've been there, but I remember hearing about it. So it was cool to go see all that.
It's pretty awesome.
Okay, what else?
Yeah, the Skyway's pretty dope. You should definitely check that out. That's really
John's
close to
Pass
us.
and all that too.
Yep, John's Pass. And then if you want to go to Sarasota, they got the Ringling Art Museum and Museum of the Circus.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No more dog racing. They got rid of all the dog racing.
Yeah,
there's a dog racing track in Sarasota.
That's a big Florida thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tracks around here.
Sad.
But they got rid of all those.
Probably good.
Yeah. They still got horse racing like half the year.
True.
At the Tampa Bay Downs. Miami's got a lot of stuff.
Miami's crazy.
That's big.
It's big, Miami.
Clubs, bars.
Beach. Yeah.
Miami
that's
Beach.
If you want to party.
Yeah, Miami's probably the place.
Go to Miami.
I haven't been to Miami in a long time either.
They have a lot of big art festivals too. They have a big art district that's pretty cool. It's a good time to go. It's like early December.
My friend took a bus from here to Miami. He said it was like $40.
Wow.
And he's like, it wasn't that bad. He's like, I thought it was going to be pretty bad. He's like, $40. I think it was $40 round trip.
It's not a bad drive. I'd rather drive to Miami. I mean, once you get there, it sucks. But I'd rather drive to Miami than
finding
Orlando.
parking and all that kind of stuff, depending on where you're going, is just rough.
And they have like iguanas just chilling around sometimes.
The Keys, that's
Miami
a big
too.
problem in like southern Florida because those are invasive species.
Yep.
People let them go. And actually in the Everglades, a lot of invasive species now, like with the pythons and stuff, because people let the pythons loose, and now there's pythons eating alligators in there. It's like crazy. But the Everglades is cool.
Yeah.
Everglades has a lot. You can go airboating. I walk through it.
I've been airboating. My dad used to own an airboat.
It's so funny because like I feel like me walking through Florida, I saw things that I imagine people think Florida is. Like when I'm in like St. People are always like posting online, like they'll post a video of like an alligator or something. They're like, I don't know how people could live in Florida with those dinosaurs and stuff. I'm like, I don't see like alligators. We're in the city. But when I walked through the Everglades, there were like literally like these canals that would like intersect and stuff like that, and there would just be like tons of alligators all laying around just sunbathing. I'm like, oh,
that's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Well, there's still parks pretty close to us that we can go to, like
there's
Sawgrass.
Sawgrass is really close.
Boyd Hill has a lot of them.
Wait, so you've been on an airboat?
Yeah, I've been on an airboat a lot. Yeah, my dad used to own one, so he would go frogging. That's what it's called. I think. Yeah, he would just take us. We would just put on our little earmuffs and. Yep. He used to mow our lawn with it. He'd just turn it on and push all the leaves to one side of the yard with it.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Some Florida redneck shit right there.
We have manatees. You can go down to like creeks in the.
We had a manatee day.
Spring day.
Lots of manatees.
No, we had manatee
dolphins.
month.
Oh yeah, manatee month.
So if you donate to us on Patreon,
got a lot
you can
of
listen
dolphins. Got a lot of gators.
There's a lot of wildlife here.
There's a lot of wildlife.
Armadillos and raccoons.
Speaking of, Hillsborough County says that they want you to celebrate National Florida Day by learning about its native species.
The Florida Trail. The Florida Trail is really far, and like that's really far. A lot like that's like old school camping, like out in the middle of nowhere in the woods.
And you see wildlife there too.
Yeah, saw some wild pig one time, scared the crap out of us. I think I was with Tony.
Wild pig.
Yeah,
It
was like a boar or whatever. But it's like I think they're an invasive species too. But we were walking down the trail, and then all of a sudden we just hear like some movement, and like it looked like a dog. It was like huge, and it just went and like, just went into the brush, and we're like, "Was that a pig? That had to be a pig." Yeah,
that's amazing.
And we got the Florida panther.
Florida panther.
Although they're like pretty extinct. Yeah, there's pretty I think like only 100 left of them in the wild. But we got bears and stuff too.
Fun fact: this day in history, January 25th. Wait, it doesn't say what year. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The gangster Al Capone died on Miami Beach when he was 48 years old. On this day in history.
Dang.
Who knows what
48 years old.
That's how old he was. when he died.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies have been filmed here.
Yep.
Even in the St.
Spring
Pete
Breakers.
area. Spring Breakers. That was filmed in St. Pete.
Yep.
Ocean's 11 was filmed at the dog track. The Infiltrator was filmed at the dog track. The Punisher was filmed on the old Gandhi Bridge.
Yeah. And at Fort DeSoto. Because I was young and I took pictures in front of it because it said like Miami or where did he go?
No, it was
Puerto
down,
Rico.
Yeah.
Or no, there's some. I forget where he goes. There's somewhere that he goes, and they had they replaced the Fort DeSoto signs with like signs from another place, and I took pictures in front of it and told all of my friends that I went there.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of... Florida's pretty big. It's got a lot of stuff.
Central Florida is the lightning capital of the world.
Cool.
That's why we have the lightning.
Yeah. Hey, all of the Tampa Bay teams are doing really well right now.
I know. I'm so happy for us. Do you know if there's ever been... I was trying to talk to someone about this
I don't
last
think
night.
so.
What?
I know you're going to... Like, every team of a city?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
At the same time?
I don't think ever at the same time. The only problem is we don't have... basketball. We don't have a basketball team.
Oh yeah, that's true. Orlando, but that's.
But what I think is pretty cool this year that if we win the Super Bowl, that'll mean that Tampa Bay and LA were the only two cities to win something this year, like in the four major. Because LA, I believe, the Lakers won basketball, and they won baseball, the Dodgers. Yeah. So then we already won. The Lightning won hockey. So if we can win the Super Bowl, then it'll be those two teams are the only ones.
2-2.
That'd be pretty cool.
We're also the first ones to play a Super Bowl in our own city.
Yeah, first ones for that.
It's pretty cool.
It's too bad the Rays couldn't have won the World Series.
That would have been nice.
It's
okay. Awesome. It was still cool. It was so good.
2020
sucked, but it was a good year for sports.
Yeah, if you good year for us
here, yeah.
And specifically, not even like Florida teams, just like Tampa Bay teams.
It's pretty crazy.
So that's pretty cool.
I love it.
But Florida's got a lot of professional teams. I mean, they do have basketball. They got the Heat, and then they have Magic.
Yeah.
We got football, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Tampa Bay Bucks, and Dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean, we got every
the college, the Gators and the Seminoles.
FSU, yeah, is huge college teams. So that's why I've always liked Florida because I always felt like it had a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Like I always thought that was cool.
We got a lot of shit.
The Heat can be a lot.
The Heat sucks, and then there's a lot of crazy people, especially in like the rural areas.
Yeah.
But it's not. We're not that bad, and I know I'm kind of proud of us because like this year in the election, it wasn't all completely Republican.
Yeah. It was. Most of the big cities,
which usually because we're a big part of the election because we're so big. So
yeah,
people hate us usually after the elections. But
at least we counted right this time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was pretty cool. I mean, we've lived in Florida our whole lives, right?
Florida beaches are shark tooth capital of the world. Yes, I've lived here.
I've been
born and raised.
Shark teeth hunting.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Shark teeth hunting.
Or whatever you say. Well, it was like a creek. Like you go to the creek and you shift to the stuff. And that's where I got poison ivy.
People always say that we have the best sunsets. We do have pretty great sunsets.
They're pretty good. But China has the best sunrises. Every time I see a picture of China, it's like 2 or 3 people in like a rice field, like with a sunrise.
Yeah. They do have pretty great sunrises.
I will say some bad parts of Florida would be hurricanes.
Hurricanes suck, but
you can plan for them a lot.
Out of all of the natural disasters, I think I prefer hurricanes, especially where we are, because somehow we get lucky a lot. The
Tampa Bay area, knock on wood, is pretty lucky when it comes to hurricanes. Yeah. We haven't been hit by one in like 90 years.
Yeah, and even though when they say like it's coming straight at us, somehow like last minute it's like
yeah, nope, we're gonna hit Naples again. Bam, bam, bam.
It's so funny. Like,
take that.
Everyone I know that's born and raised here that I hang out with around Adam is like, yeah, they never hit us. Like, that's how a lot of people like from here are. They're like, and then there's like that rumor or that like that there's Native American grounds and that's why they never hit us and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. They protect us.
But he's like, no, I mean, it hit you before. You guys are pretty due for one. And when it does hit you, it's going to fuck Florida up, especially this area.
If a Cat 5 hits this area where we live right now, it would probably turn St. Pete into an island.
Yeah, wouldn't it suck for all those buildings they just built downtown and the whole new pier?
I just don't understand why they keep building, like, they just keep building, like, right on the water. And it's like, it's rising. Yeah. Like, water levels are rising. I get it. Like, everybody wants that beachfront property.
They want that money right now. They don't care about the future.
They don't. But now they have to put those big sand blocks out there to try to stop erosion and all that stuff. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was John's Pass was like completely like ruined. That area was like ruined after the last hurricane, like because the water, like there's so much like beach land now.
Yeah.
It doesn't come up far enough to like all the buildings they built on stilts and shit.
Because they've added so much sand?
No, because that's what the hurricane did. It brought so much sand up, and so the water is like farther out now.
Wow.
It's like the opposite of what you would think, but
yeah, I was gonna say I know a lot.
Adam explained it to me the other day. I don't know environmental stuff like that, but I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, a lot of places will add sand because they, because of erosion and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
And then we just got our brand new pier that opened mid quarantine, and it's gotten national recognition. It's like it was voted the number 2 destination in the country right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that?
I don't think it's that great. I mean, it's fine. It's good, I guess. But in the whole country, the number 2
right
spot.
now, yeah. It was voted that.
By who? Us?
No.
The Floridians.
I remember when they were voting for it because St. Pete was like pushing people to vote. But it was like a bunch of places all over the country you could vote for. And somehow
I like the pier. I just don't think... I mean, I don't know. I guess it's fine.
There's so many people there all the time.
Yeah, but do you think it stays that way?
No.
Because the other pier was the same way. I did a research paper on the pier, the old pier, right? Like I had to do one for school a long time ago. And I remember researching the pier. And it's been changed like four times over the years. But the last major one was the inverted triangle design.
USA Today was the one. Top 10 destinations.
What was number 1? Okay.
Continue your paper.
But they did the inverted pyramid or whatever.
Right.
That was a design that came out in the 70s, and they did it, and they said it was super popular for a while, but then it just became like a tourist attraction too much that most of the people who lived around there GTFO'd and were like, I don't want to be around tourists anymore. The only thing that I think might help at this time is that they fixed up all of downtown area.
Yeah.
Like they fixed up like all Beach Drive is nice and new, and the North Straw Park is more popular.
Yeah.
Like all that, and they added more bars and stuff, restaurants. So maybe that'll help that there, because back in the day there wasn't a lot downtown with that pier. That was like one of the only spots.
That was the only thing you could do.
Right.
But now there's like they've redone the Dolly Museum, and
I just don't think the pier has like that much yet.
It doesn't, but I think that might also help it, because with there being so much already downtown, like it's just like the places in there got like old, like it was old, boring.
Well, there's
shit.
a lot of
and
touristy
now
stuff.
It's just like a restaurant and a bar, and then there's like one like local like plants and animals that are native to Florida museum, but it's mostly just like a bar and 2 restaurants and then you can fish or whatever. So it's more about the view, I think.
Yeah.
This time than it is about like shopping and shit. But then they have the local vendors like on the strip of it, and of course Doc Ford's, which is really tasty. People love that place.
Well, hopefully it sticks around and stuff.
I think it will. And then we've got that boat that goes, which they haven't moved directly onto the pier yet, but the boat that takes you from St. Pete to Tampa.
Right.
Which will be nice again once we can go to Lightning games or other
That's why I want them to build the new stadium, the Tampa Bay Rays Stadium, right where Derby is.
I know. Wouldn't that be awesome? They're not going to do it. I doubt it.
They should, though. You know,
I know. I drove past there
so
the other day,
money.
and I was telling Adam, I was like, that is so huge. I was like, what are they going to do now that there's no dog track? What are they going to do? Tear it down. Put the stadium there.
They could tear it down. They could sell that whole area.
I think it would be a good idea because there's like the two bridges, like the
that's what I said. The Gandy,
Howard Franklin and Gandy. That's two entrances. There's not like a lot of other touristy shit around there.
They could also build their own exit off of Gandy that like maybe goes towards like where the parking garage is or something like that, like on the outskirts or something, or like to a road that leads to the parking garage. And same with like Howard Franklin, and then you have 4th Street. And it's like kind of right in the middle of the main part of St. Pete and Tampa, because Tampa's right over the bridge. So it's actually closer to Tampa without being in Tampa.
True.
The closest it can be without being in Tampa. I thought it's a good spot. I think they might think about it now that Derby Lane.
So.
Derby Lane could charge so much money for that whole area. It's worth millions.
I believe it. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, that parking lot is huge. Like,
what are they going to do with
They don't know yet. I think they sell it. They're going to sell that land regardless. They don't need it all now. Yeah. They're just going to keep the poker room, which is where I work, guys. And so they'll probably... where I work, guys. Well, that's why we're talking about it so much. So I think they'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of people do complain about the Tampa stadium, the baseball stadium, Tropicana Field for the Rays. And so they're going to try to get it on. I don't mind it because I get that the catwalks suck.
Now we got those pretty lights. The catwalks do suck.
I think it sucks for like baseball.
That's like the biggest complaint.
If they just got rid of that.
But right now it's it's hosting all of the wrestling shit for this year. Our Lightning Stadium had the Raptors playing there.
Well, that's what they should keep Tropicana Field and just make it an event area.
Yeah.
And fix up the sound. Like, because the sound's not that great in there. But, like, you do concerts and all that kind of stuff. Like, anything. Like, big festivals. And just keep that. And then just build a new stadium for the Rays.
I agree.
And they still need to make it an indoor stadium.
Yeah, it's too hot.
It rains all the time. And it's hot when it's not raining. So, it's like, no one's going to want to sit outside.
True.
But who knows?
I liked the original idea. If we had a stadium, like in Seattle, where you could remove the roof, that would be cool.
Yeah, I guess. But again, it gets so hot.
But we don't need it. Yeah, I know. There's not many times where we would need to remove the roof. Like this last 2 months.
Yeah. But they don't play these months.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we play the summer, so it's going to be hot.
That's true. You're so right. Okay, the number one was the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's a new museum that honors the athletes and ideals of the Olympic and Paralympic Games. They won number one.
All right.
We're number 2. 3 is the Forge in Lamont, Illinois. 4 is the Mississippi Aquarium. Weird.
A weird list. But
it's a weird list.
I guess. I mean, how do you determine what's the best thing? And like, has anybody gone to all of these?
Well, I think it's more like the newer attractions of 2020.
No, I'm sure it is.
Just like.
But, like, nobody's going to all of them.
Best new attractions of 2020. Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, whatever.
But
yeah, if you have some free time, even if you don't come today on Florida Day, look up Florida. Think about it's a good vacation spot. People come down here all the time for vacations.
People come here a lot. Like, a lot of people that I know that don't live here have definitely been here.
And most people. Even our biggest fan, Trisha.
Yeah.
She's been here. She's been to Florida, but she said it was when she was a child, so she doesn't remember too much of it.
That's a lot of people. Like, they come, their parents take them to, like, Disney World or Universal or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, with how many theme parks are just, like, all over. And then not only that, cruise lines leave out of here. Yep. There's just so much.
There's so much to do.
Like, it's pretty cool.
And we are born and raised. It's kind of funny now because, like, growing up, it was never a thing, but more recently, like, I'll meet people, like, downtown, and it's crazy to them when they meet someone that is, like, a native.
Yeah, because a lot of people
like,
move
whoa,
down
really?
here.
You're born? Yeah, it's a big mix of, like, everyone from all over the country.
Especially, like, it used to be a lot of old people.
Yep.
Not so much anymore.
Still a lot of old people, but...
There is, but not as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, I think I mentioned this on another podcast, so I'll gloss over it real fast. James Bond, Ian Fleming wrote about St. Pete in like in a book and Live and Let Die. And in that book, he talks about how many old people are just sitting on the side of the road, like just in benches. Like there's just concrete benches like every like 2 blocks, and they're just sitting there and resting and stuff. And it's James Bond just driving down the road, going through St. Pete, going to John's Pass. So I always thought that was kind of interesting. And I seen old photos in the Peer book when I was doing research for it, and I remember seeing like there's just all old people would hang out there and
lots
stuff.
of old people. They gotta get away from that cold.
Yeah,
retire here. Speaking of old people, we have the Villages.
Yeah, it's true.
Here in Florida.
That's where they filmed The Cocoon.
Would not recommend, but you could.
Isn't that where they filmed Cocoon? No, they filmed Cocoon at Boca Vista?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't remember where they filmed
The Villages is where you hear like for a while like all the old people are just fucking each other, so that's where there's like a bunch of STDs going around the Villages.
They try to make them wear condoms, and they're like, "Why?
Why? We're gonna die
I'm
soon."
Old. I'm gonna let me.
I don't know
if
that's still a thing, but I just remember that like in my childhood, is like the Villages where all the old people have STDs.
Well, if you want to watch, maybe it was filmed in Clearwater. Actually, I don't know where Cocoon was filmed, but it was filmed in Florida. So watch Cocoon.
There's also a local guy doing he's doing a documentary on the Villages, and I'm really kind of excited.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And now,
wait,
we are the home of our ex-president.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Mar-a-Lago.
Go us.
I was gonna say you can watch, if you want to watch a movie about Florida that gives you like it's not Sunshine and Roses, but the Florida Project, which takes place in like Kissimmee, which is outside of Orlando.
Which is really good. It's really good.
It's really good. Willem Dafoe's in it, and it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
like
because
Kissimmee
Orlando,
is
right?
kind of it's Kissimmee, which is where when I was a kid and my mom or like we would go with family and friends to the theme parks, we would actually stay in Kissimmee. Which
really?
wasn't that far away because it was cheaper,
cheaper.
hotels and stuff there. So we would stay there, get a big hotel, share the room and stuff, and then drive like 5 minutes into Orlando to go to all the big
smart
theme parks. So
there's even a Florida Man documentary that's really good. It's pretty short, but
it's out.
It's out. It's fun. You should look it up. It's really funny. It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it shows the worst people of Florida, but it's actually really fun.
Nice.
I wish it was longer. I wish it was like a 3-hour movie.
Actual movie.
Yeah, but that's Florida. Come visit us.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you celebrate. Just come visit Florida. I mean, you can do other stuff. Watch one of those movies based in Florida, or like do some research.
Draw a picture of an alligator. Call it a day.
Yeah. It's one way to celebrate, I guess.
Yep. So do you think we have a cake today?
Of course we have it. We definitely have a cake.
We have to have a cake.
We live in Florida.
It's our town.
Yeah, when we celebrate like other states like Alaska and Georgia and all those, we have cakes those days. We got to have one for Florida.
We got to have one for Florida.
What kind of cake?
I think it's
shape of Florida.
A shape of Florida with like alligators and like some palm trees and a Florida man and
a Florida man. Does he
some
have a
bath
face?
salts.
Put some bath salts on there. You take some bath salts and then just eat each other's faces off.
Some of the famous people from Florida I just can't think of. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's
how we do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to celebrate, but yeah, if you get a chance, come down here and do one of the many things we talked about.
Yeah, don't hate on us so much. I know we suck in other ways.
I know that there's like a lot of stuff, and everyone's always like, "Florida's so crazy." Well, you know what? We're a fun crazy.
We're a fun crazy.
So you know what? Take that to the bank and cash it, because that's who we are. All right, I guess that does it for this episode of Will There Be Cake. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we're happy to talk about our hometown.
Yes.
So that does it for Florida Day. We will see you guys mañana. This has been a 7 Lamb production.